Hello out there. Hi, Stephanie. Let's chime on in. Hi, Vanessa. Erica. Jamaica, come on in. Amber. Come on in, ladies. We're going to talk about it tonight. Hi, Natanya. Hi, Carol. Bless you too, Erica. Nicole. Vanessa, did you get everything you needed today? Good to see you, ladies. Hello, Apostle Harris. Good to see you on. Invite somebody in. You're going to want to do that tonight. I'm going to allow that tonight if you can. Oh, here we go with this cutting out. I asked if you got everything that you needed, Vanessa. Okay, Nicole. Thank you for that. All right. We're going to get right into it because I don't know how long the signal is going to stay up. We got to get together, lady. Hi, Diane. All right. We're going to get right into it. All right. Sharon is probably going to be on tonight. Hi, Whitney. Blessings to you too. You beautiful Diane. All right. All right. All right. We're going to go right on. If you weren't with us last week, we were talking about mentors last week. If you weren't with us, then I encourage you to go back because we talked about the value of a mentor and exactly what mentoring is. Hi, Haven. Hi, Don. And exactly what mentoring is. Corinthia, hello. How are you? Talked about what mentoring is. And so tonight, I want to talk from the perspective of the mentor. All right. Last week, we talked about mentor. A mentor is an experienced, successful, trustworthy advisor in any area. Church is not the only place. Matter of fact, church is new to mentoring. When you look at mentoring, it is really, it comes out of the secular world. And of course, we do have mentors in the church, but remember what we said last week. We've confused what the mentor is with what the spiritual parent is. Hi, Julia. With what the spiritual parent is, what the idol, those we idolize, we've confused those things, you know. A mentor is an experienced, hi, Rose, successful, hi, Lionel, an experienced, successful, trusted advisor. And that can be any area in your life, okay? And we talked about the things you look for in a mentor. And remember, I told you I went to Forbes. Hi, Maya. I went to Forbes because if you're in business, Forbes is one of those organizations that keep their finger on the pulse of business. And from Forbes, we found out that mentors should be accessible. They should be authentic. They should be objective. They should be continually learning. And they should have your same values. And so we talked about last week that, you know, the Situation Room is not just for saved folk or for saved women. It's for women on the move. Women who are ready to go to the next place, be it in their spiritual walk, be it in their personal lives, be it in business. Just women on the move who are ready to put all of the foolery aside, who are assured and are able and ready to take that leap. And so we over spiritualize sometimes some things. If you need a mentor in your profession, and your profession is teaching, your profession is cooking, your profession is engineering, you wouldn't go to someone who writes curriculum for the church. You wouldn't go to a teacher. You wouldn't necessarily have to go to be mentored. To be mentored, you wouldn't necessarily have to go to a pastor or to a religious leader. Hi, Terry. If they are not experienced and successful in it, they really can't mentor you. Understand what mentoring is. It is an experienced, successful, trusted advisor. Hi, overseer. Trusted advisor. They have to have your values, but they don't necessarily have to walk in your faith. See, that's going to mess. Hi, Robert. That's going to mess some people up right there because we over spiritualize things that don't need to be spiritualized. Hi, Corita. So when I'm looking for a mentor in whatever area I need a mentor, I'm going to look for someone who has the experience, who was successful or is successful, and I know that they are trusted to give me the right advice. I'm going to look for someone who is sitting where I want to go or who has already occupied where I want to go. Not just occupied it, but knocked it out the box. That's a mentor. And of course, we have spiritual mentors. Of course, we have spiritual mentors. Experience means you've done it before. Someone cannot be a mentor to you if they have not had experience and been successful at it. They have to be accessible. I put this up last week, especially spiritually. Hi, April. Hi, Brandy. How can they mentor you, advise you, get you where you're trying to go when you can't call them? Hi, Joanne. You can't talk to them. You can't reach them. That's not what a mentor is. On the other hand, your mentor doesn't have to be your friend. Someone who is giving you sound, wise, trusted advice doesn't have to be your friend. They don't have to have a personal relationship with you. Hi, Letitia. They don't have to. Hi, Cynthia. They don't have to have a personal relationship. We expect too much from mentors. Mentors are not spiritual parents. A spiritual parent, one who has caused you to grow in Christ, one who has brought you into the faith, one who is maturing you in the things of God. Hello, Pastor. That's a spiritual parent, the one who was there, the one who is constantly there, getting you over the hurdle. Now, you have a personal, somebody can't be your spiritual parent and you have no relationship with them. Now, that's a whole nother subject right there. How can they be your spiritual parent when they have no involvement with you? All right. So you can't have a mentor that you can't call, you can't contact, you have no accessibility to. They have to be accessible. A good mentor, first of all, is available to you. You need one who's going to be dedicated and have the time to develop you. They have to commit to you. But likewise, as the mentee, don't half-heartedly commit to them and then know what you want. That was last week. Go back and watch it. are authenticity. Let me tell you something. Your degree, your title, your position, your particular anointing, hi Troy, your contacts, your years of experience mean absolutely nothing if you are not genuinely interested in helping me on my journey. We pick mentors according to personality and popularity. Or they have money, position, title, name, and we want them to be our mentor. But that don't mean a hill of beans if they don't have time for you. If they're not genuinely interested in you succeeding and being successful. The kingdom of Yahweh God is abusing and being abused in this particular area. We're attaching for spiritual parenthood and for mentoring. We are attaching, hi Tracy, hi Karita. We are attaching to people because they have the most elevated platform, or they're the latest name on the scene. And so they have all these spiritual children, sons and daughters, and he's my advisor, she's my advisor. Hi, Robin. But you can't touch them. You can't get to them. If you're going to be successful, you need a mentor you can trust. First of all, to get you where you're going. Why? Because they have been there already. They're currently there, or they've been there already. They have to be experienced. If they are not experienced, listen at this. As I was studying for this, you can't be my mentor if you've not done it before. The ladies notice we get a drink of water, tea, or whatever you prefer to drink before we come. And then I'll say this, take a sip. That's a sip moment. How can you be my mentor and you haven't experienced it? You haven't been successful at it. You don't even know where we're going. If we're walking together to discover a thing, hi, Robin, guess what we're doing? We're partners. We're asking people to be our spiritual parents. We're asking people to be our mentors spiritually who have absolutely no experience. So we're partners. If you and I decide we're going to do a business venture, if we decide that we're going to start a ministry, if we decide that we're going to start a nonprofit organization, a community outreach, or we're going to sell bananas. If neither one of us have done it before, neither one of us really can advise the other. Hi, Michelle. We're walking this thing out together. In the same token, a mentor should be someone who has already, thank you, Terry, partnership or mentorship, who has already walked the road you are walking and has experience. And experience, y'all ain't gonna like this one now, is not 1 year. Experience is not 2 years. I'm going to say experience is not 3 years. If they have not occupied the position long enough to see the turnover, to know the pitfalls, to know the good, to know the bad, to know what it's going to do when it goes through all of its seasons, then they can't be a mentor to, well, I'm going to say they can't be a mentor to me. Because I just don't need you to tell me how to succeed. I need you to tell me what's going to keep me from succeeding. Or what is success going to cost me? Let me tell you something about a mentor. They're going to tell you the cost. An experienced and successful mentor is going to tell you what it's going to cost you. Uh-oh. And a mentor shouldn't be your best friend. They don't have time to pity pat you. They don't have time to wipe your tears. They're not in it. They're not investing in you to baby you. They're not investing in you to grow you up. They are investing in you because they have a desire. First of all, they're genuinely concerned about you, and they have a desire to see you occupy where they have already occupied. So they don't have to be your friend. They don't have to know your personal life. My daughter, Angel Williams, prophetess Angel Williams, pastor, says they don't have to know your children's name. They don't have to know your favorite color. They don't have to send you Christmas cards. They don't have to call you on your birthday. Their position in your life is to see to it that you succeed at what they already have been successful at. That's a mentor. And continual learning. We need mentors who never stop learning. They're always students. They have teachable spirits. They're not stuck in the success of yesterday. That's why a lot of times when you ask for a mentor in a particular area, they'll say, okay, I can show you that, but I'm no longer doing that. I've moved on. Hi, Don. I've moved on. I missed somebody. I don't want to miss anybody, y'all. Hey, Audrey. Andrea, how are you? A mentor realizes they must be as much a pupil as they are the teacher. They must be as much a follower as they are a leader. They are continually learning. Okay? They're taking classes. Last week I used the beautician. A beautician today who's just getting out of school looks for a mentor. She looks for an experienced, successful, trusted advisor to tell her how to work what she qualifies for first. And let me put that in. True mentors are not going to mentor you if you don't qualify for what you're asking for. Take a drink. If you don't qualify for what you're asking for, good mentors, true mentors are not going to mentor you. They're continually learning. So that beautician that she looks for goes to shows or gets the latest certification. They're not stuck in the age of the doobie wrap. They're not doing the bump and curl. They might do that for clients, but they know the latest edge. They know about the new braiding techniques, even if they don't do it. They're learned in it. They're the ones who realize that a beauty shop is no longer just about hair. It's about massage. It's about healthy living. It's about nails. It's about pampering the whole woman. It's about sauna. They're the ones who are continually learning. You need a mentor who realizes they will always be in class. And you need a mentor who's not shady. They should have the same values that you yourself have. That's why I say they don't have to be saved because you're saved, but they have to have your values. They should be someone you admire and respect. Just don't get a mentor because they're successful. Just don't get the mentor because they're experienced. If your core values are not the same, if they're not integral and you are integral, if they're not respectful and you are respectful, if they're not humble and you are humble, you're going to have issues. Because they're going to ask you to do and tell you to do things that you don't agree with. What you never allow as a mentor or a mentee is to allow the relationship to change the core of who you are. Now see that I said a mouthful right there. If it's going to change who you are, hi Rhonda, if it's going to change who you are, that's not the mentor for you. Uh-oh. So that was last week. So you all go back and watch last week. Now this week, I want to talk about, I'm talking from the end of being a mentor, okay? Mentoring, if you are a mentor, you are a cultivator. All right. You are cultivating someone. You are cultivating. And when I look up, I'm looking at my computer for those of you who are new with me. Mentor is cultivating. It's preparing ground. And if you don't think that the ground can bring forth the investment of your seed, don't try to cultivate it. See, right there, that's going to mess up. If you are a mentor, and we've all gotten into this kind of trouble, you just don't mentor everybody who asks you for it. They must qualify. Because they're asking you to make an investment in them. Are they prepared to be cultivated? No farmer goes out and works a field, preparing it and cultivating it to receive the seed and not expect that it's going to get a harvest. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. No farmer puts in blood, sweat, and tears and then says, oh, well, I'm not going to plant the seed, or, oh, well, I don't care if it comes up. No farmer does that. You are a cultivator. You got to know the ground. You got to know what you can plant and what you have to hold back. You will not be able to mentor everybody. They might not be the right ground for you to cultivate, because in the flip, they need to be, if you are integral, they need to be integral. If you are humble, they need to be humble. If you are honorable, they need to be honorable. It doesn't matter their skill, their gifts, or the money that they have to pay you. If they do not have your values, you don't need to cultivate them. Uh-oh. I'm going to wait. And as a mentor, you need complete honesty from the mentee. Don't let them come to you covering up, shucking and jiving and hiding things. Because you are pouring what you have sweated for, what you have labored for, what you have studied for, sometimes what you have prayed for, what you have sacrificed, what you have laid on the altar for. You are making an investment. You need to know that what you are investing in is able to hold what you are pouring. Thank you, Pastor Kara. Conflict of interest. So there's nothing wrong with giving your mentees a questionnaire. I got some questions I want to ask you. The mentee needs the mentor. The mentor doesn't need the mentee. If you are a mentor and you need mentees, you need to be the mentee and not the mentor. Okay. All right. I'm going to look over here. How's that? Anybody else with me? The mentee needs mentors. Mentors don't need mentees. They need what you have. You don't need what they have. You're trying to give them what you have. If you find yourself mentoring for the money, for the recognition, for the fame, for the name, you're in it for the wrong reasons. We should be mentoring because we desire to see ourselves reproduce. Uh-oh. We desire to see our success continue. We desire to see the works of the Lord, or the works that we are doing, increase. We should be mentoring people so that what has been invested in us does not die with us. I refuse, I'm going to say this. I promised myself years ago when I understood this, I refuse to die with one iota, a tap of anointing in me. I will be completely empty. You won't be able to come to Apostle Hudson's grave, throw nobody in and they live because I'm so anointed. Every bit of who and what I am, I will pour into others, that I will always remain in the earth. What will be the remembrance of you when there is no remembrance of you? That's a deep question right there. What will be the remembrance of you when there is no remembrance of you? Have you invested yourself in anyone? Have you passed on the ability, the skill, the gift of increase? Because once you occupy it, and you learn it, you can teach others how to even increase what you've already planted. When they arrive where you're at or where you have been in your success, they should, because you have mentored them, they should be able to bring what was 2 to 10, what was 10 to 100, what was 100 to 1,000, all because you poured yourself, you invested in them. So they can't come hiding stuff. Hi, Prophet Angelo. They can't come hiding stuff. They must be willing to reveal their flaws, what they struggle with. Don't put in the time if they're not willing to be honest with you. And then in turn, you have to be vulnerable to them. Uh-oh. So mentors, be very careful to know if you are safe before you take on mentees. As you have to be trustworthy, they also have to be trustworthy. Because you're going to be vulnerable. To really mentor someone, to really pour and invest in someone, that which you know, that which you are successful at, that which you have experience in, that which you are trusted as an advisor for, you're going to be vulnerable. Too many mentors have made themselves vulnerable to people who could not handle their transparency. Look at that. Look at that. Who could not handle. Who misused. Who used their vulnerabilities against them. You must know the people you mentor. If they're not willing to be honest and open with you. And mentors don't seek mentees. Take a drink. This is not discipleship. This is mentorship. My. This is not discipleship. This is mentorship. Mentors don't walk up and ask, will you let me mentor you? Or you shouldn't be. Mentees need mentors. And even their need of you, they got to qualify. I say this often in church, and I'm going to say it on this platform. When somebody asks you for seed, you need to ask them, what qualifies you to ask me to take what I have as a harvest and give it to you for you to have seed? He teaching right tonight. Come on here. I say it all the time. Hi, CJ. When they come and they ask you to mentor them, you better know them. First of all, you don't ask someone to mentor you that you don't trust. Remember, trusted advisor. They have to qualify. If they're not willing to tell you all, especially the flaws, don't ask me to mentor you in business and you're hiding from me that you're in bankruptcy. Yes, Nicole, I just don't give seed to everybody because it's seed to you, but it's harvest to me. My God. See. So, what qualifies you to ask me to invest my years of experience, my years of success, my time that is valuable? What qualifies you? I didn't say I wouldn't do it, but how do you qualify for me to do it? Mentors who are seeking mentees, you hungry. You got to know if they fit you. You might want to advise them or recommend them to someone else to mentor them. You got to establish as the mentors, because remember, I'm talking more to the mentors tonight. You have to establish your expectations and your ground rules out before the gun goes off, before we line up to run. I need you to know these are the ground rules and these are my expectations. You can't tell the mentor that they shouldn't have expectations. You want what the mentor has. Establish expectations and ground rules. And flat out let them know this is the deal breaker. If you lie to me, come on now. If you're not completely honest with me, if you are two-faced, whatever these are deal breakers. We out of this thing. That's why you got to know them. You got to know them. You got to let them know what you expect of them. And you got to set goals mutually. There must be an agreement of the goals. Well, you don't have to agree with the goal. This is my goal. Yeah, I have to agree with your goal because you're taking my knowledge. You're taking my experience. You're taking my expertise. So yeah, I have to agree with what you're going to do with it. We've given too much of our anointings. We've given too much of our giftings. We've given too much of our time to people, and they've used it in wrong ways, not knowing how they're going to use it. I'm not going to tell you my secrets if you're going to use them against me. Okay. Deal breaker. What's your goal? What are you doing? Where are we going to be in 5 years? Where do you plan on being in 2 years? And why do you want to be there? What are you going to do when you get there? We don't want to have the Abram and Lot situation. Okay? I take you with me. I share my wealth with you. I take you in as the orphan who does not know. The call wasn't to you. The call was to me. Well, you don't know if I'm not called. You might be called now, but you asking for what I've already answered to. So we don't want to end up in an Abram and Lot situation where when we get out here, you get over here where I'm at, and You grow because I invested in you. I mentored you. I taught you. I showed you the ropes. I recommended you. I introduced you. I don't want you out here with me. Now you think you own what I labored for. Now you're trying to cut my throat. Now you backdooring me. Now you doing. You better know who you mentor. And don't take a lot with you. I preached that sermon one time. You got to know who's Lot. And you got to know who's Elisha's. Because they're willing to yoke up with you. Don't mean that they're going to do you right when they can break the yoke themselves. See, we all Christians on here, or most of us anyway. Abram gets the call from God. God is talking to Abram. God gives Abram's instructions. God increases Abram. God gives Abram, and we call him Abraham now, the promise. He tells Abram to leave. Abram, out of the kindness of his heart, takes his nephew, Lot. And they go and they do all of that. And so they increase. Lot increases along with Abraham. But if Abraham had not mentored Lot, taken Lot in, taught Lot what he needed, taken Lot along with him in the promise that was to Abraham and his descendants, Lot never would have increased. So they end up, and the place is not big enough. They start fighting. The herdsmen of Lot begin to fight with the herdsmen of Abraham. Lack of respect. There should have never been a fight. That is a lack of respect. So you need to know the ones you are mentoring. They got to be honest. And then you got to trust your inner truster. No matter what they say, you better know that you know that you know that they are sincere. And sometimes they don't know they're not sincere themselves. And be clear about your time boundaries. Mentees, listen. Because you are being mentored does not mean that you get to monopolize and completely consume the time of the mentor. Mentors offer enough of yourself to be available. Offer enough availability to not leave the mentor in a dry place. But don't give them so much of your time that they don't water the place they in themselves. Set a time with your mentees and stick to it. Don't allow them to ring your phone off the hook. Don't allow them to consume more time. They're in it. Remember, they're learning. You're investing. You make a choice how much of your investment you are willing to pour in a session. You're teaching them how to be successful. In order for them to learn, they're going to have to press it out themselves. Don't allow the mentee to monopolize your time. Listen to them carefully. I told one of my daughters this morning, one of my mentees, I said, I read better between the lines than I do on lines. I'm going to drink that. I hear better what's not said than I hear what you're saying. Between the lines, it might be written in invisible ink, but some of us got Superman eyes. We can read it. Don't ignore what is talking to you, mentors. Listen. You must listen for what is not being said. Okay. And on the flip side of that, as a mentor, you have to be matured. You can't be easily offended. And you can't be so holy and righteous that they can't tell you the truth. That they can't tell you, you stink today. Yeah. The mentee can tell you that. Oh, no, you're not going to tell me that. I'm the one teaching you. I'm the one making the investment. With all due respect, you're not humble today. You have to be willing to hear. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. That's wisdom. When I counsel people, I don't jump to conclusion. I seek first to understand, then I seek to be understood. Sometimes when I seek to understand where people are coming from, there's no need for me to be understood. In conflict, seek first to understand before being understood. Seek first to hear before you seek to be heard. You are the mentor. You are the matured one. You are the one who already is in possession of what they are seeking. You can wait. Uh-oh. And mentors, you've got to open doors. Be willing to open doors for those you are mentoring. You have the connections that they need. They will benefit from. You cannot mentor someone truly into success hiding stuff. Uh-oh. If they're your protege, they are serious about learning and growing. Why would you hold back or keep doors closed that you know you have the ability to open for them? You are responsible to introduce them to the appropriate people. You are responsible to get them into the network that's going to help them in what they're doing. You're the one who has the specialist. You're the one who has the contacts. You have the suppliers. You're the professional. You've got the association. You know the people. Now listen, mentees. I'm just going to give it to you straight up, no chaser. If they can open doors for you, they might not need to be your mentor. Y'all drink to that one. If they can't open doors for you, if they have no associations, if they have no contacts, if they're not in a network, they might not be the mentor you need. Because a mentor just doesn't teach you. A mentor just doesn't instruct and show you how to do it. A mentor ushers you into it. They're not going to do it for you, but they'll make sure that you get into a place that you can do it. They'll give you contacts. They'll tell you who they use. They'll tell you who to go see. They'll tell you who to talk to. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Some of us ain't liking that. I'm not giving you my secrets. Well, you should have never mentored. If you're not willing to share all of the wealth, leave them alone. If you're not, if you can't tell them, okay, you need this done in your business, call this distributor. And tell them I said to help you. Mentors, we got to keep our names, our reputation, our work ethics, we have to keep them clean. We have to be integral. We have to be earnest and honest. We have to be loving. We have to be kind. We have to be humble because we are sending our mentees in our name. A mentee should never go where you know they can get what they need and can't mention your name. I'm going to send you over here to this supplier. They got the best, whatever. But don't mention my name. Don't mention my name because we had this or we had that. Really? Mentors, your name is more valuable than your money. I'll wait. Mentees, a mentor with a good name will open a door for you that all the money, all the connections you got won't be able to open. When you walk up to someone and you mention that Apostle Sheldon Hudson sent me, they shouldn't be trying to backpedal, get out of your presence, or side talk you. When you mention your mentor, whatever room you mention that mentor in, the room should respect the name of the mentor. I don't care how much experience, how much money, how much success you've had. If your name is bad, you don't need to be mentoring people. And you shouldn't want to be mentored by them. That's just the hardcore of it. Mentors, you cannot lose it with the mentees. Some people are not going to agree with this, but I don't care. These are my values. You cannot lose it with the mentor and degrade them. You cannot lose it with them and tell them they're never going to be anything. They can't do nothing right. And you definitely cannot get into a cussing match with your mentees. Oh, I'm coming in close. Did y'all hear me? You all, as the mentor, you always have to be in control of you. Your name, not your money, not your experience, mentors. Your name, not your money, not your experience, not your success, not your years on it, not how long you've been doing it, not your family connections, not your connections. Your name should do more for your mentee than all the investments you gave them. No belittling or demeaning behavior. Exactly. If I get in a place I got to cuss at you, if I get in the place that it's constantly a tug of war, if we get in the place that I'm frustrated and you're vexing me, then I can't be your mentor. And I'm going to tell you, true mentors are going to share their flaws or where they have missed it. If you got a mentor and they ain't never had no mistakes and they're not willing to tell you where the pitfalls are and tell you that they fell in it themselves, then they're prideful. You don't need that mentor. And mentors don't violate. A good mentor will never violate the relationship. A good mentor will never violate the person. Even a good mentor, even if I've done all that I know to do and I've taken my time and I invested in you and I believed in you and you turn and you come against me, a good mentor still won't violate you They'll still speak well of you or not speak of you at all. They're not going to belittle you. They're not going to put your name out there. They're not going to they're not going to call the people and try to cut you off. That's a good mentor. Because remember, mentor, you made them. They didn't make you. You showed them. So what did you really lose? Mentors. I found myself here lately in mentoring. Stop trying to convince them that you know what you're doing. Oh, take a drink. Stop trying. If you got mentees that you are still trying to convince you know what you're doing, you are honorable, you are trustworthy, you got their best interests at heart, you got the wrong mentees. Oh my goodness. I don't think someone's like that. I will not spend another day trying to convince the people who ask me to mentor them that I know what I'm doing. How you going to tell the person who's sitting in the chair and you standing up, they ain't sitting in the chair right, but you never sat in the chair? I don't think you know what you're doing. Couldn't it be done better this way? Well, I got an idea. Remember, mentors, experienced, successful, trusted advisor. If the mentee wavers on believing any of that, they don't need to be the mentee. When the mentee begins to give the mentor instructions and advice, they don't need to be the mentee anymore. She says, stay in your lane. Yes, stay in your lane. Stop. Mentors, you are experienced. You are successful. You are trustworthy. You are honorable. You are humble. You are faithful. Stop trying to convince people who you are. Just be who you are. And those who want to attach to you and question that, don't allow the attachment. Take a drink. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's what the Lord wants you to do, because that's spiritual mentoring. But you ain't never been here. You're trying to come over the rainbow where the pot of gold is. I'm sitting, or the mentor is sitting on the pot of gold in possession of it. But you on the other side of the rainbow, Dorothy, and you trying to tell the one who is in possession of where you're trying to get that what they telling you how they got there, you got a better way. So why aren't you sitting on the pot of gold? Oh, okay. People confuse humility. Michael, take a drink. Pull on it again, baby. People confuse humility with denial. I just say denial. How do I want to say that? You can know who you are. Be confident in who you are. That's it. They confuse confidence with humility and arrogance. Totally different. If you know who you are and you are confident in who you are, sometimes people will tell you you're not humble. Why? Because I just know who I am. And I know how to do what I do. You need to humble yourself. Humility is not being in denial of what you know and who you are. That's called a lie. That's called living a lie. For me to act like I don't know who I am and I don't know what I'm doing and do all of this and it's just so humble on me. That's a lie. That's just a lie. Mentors, you are experienced. You are successful. You are trusted to advise. You've proven to be honorable, integral. You have proven that you desire to leave a remembrance of you. Don't allow people to attach to you who question any of that or how you got any of that. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. If you have to convince them, if you got to constantly pull teeth and come on, baby, now you can do this. Come on now. You got it in you. I see your potential. You got to leave all this stuff. That's not what a mentor does. That's the spiritual parent. The spiritual parent is there to build you up in your morale. Your spiritual parent is there to wipe up the boo-boos. Your spiritual parent is there to kiss you. Your spiritual parent is there to cover you and make sure that your backside is not exposed. That's not the mentor's position. The mentor is getting you where you asked to be. We've confused mentors with spiritual parents. Your mentor is not your mother. Your mentor is not your father. You either want it or you don't. Your mentor, listen at this. You should already be matured when you come for a mentor. It's not the mentor's responsibility to mature you to occupy. They teach you how to occupy, not mature you for occupancy. There's a difference. Spiritual parents, spiritual guides, they do that. When you get to the mentee, it's time for you to take possession. Now you need skill, training. You need the experience. You need the advice to possess. Stop asking your mentors to parent you. Again, they don't need to know your children's name. They don't need to know your favorite color. They don't need to take you to dinner. They don't need to send you birthday cards. They don't need to buy you anything. Matter of fact, you need to be buying the mentor. Now, take that. They there just to tell you how to occupy. How to get it. Not to prepare you for it. The only preparation they'll do for you is what needs to be prepared in you lacking for the occupancy, not prepare you. Ooh, that was good. They're not there to prepare you. They're there to prepare the skill, the gift, the talent it takes for you to occupy. They're not there to prepare you. That's what your spiritual parents do. That's what your leader does. That's what your schooling does. That's what the teacher does, not what the mentor does. The mentor gives you information, knowledge, skill, and ability to occupy. We've confused them. We got them all wrapped up. Everybody can't mentor because everybody hasn't occupied. Don't you know a lot of people are teaching but have never experienced what they're teaching? Ooh. It happens all the time. A history teacher is teaching you history, but they didn't experience it. It's history. Instructions will teach you how to make a cake. That don't mean that the one who gave you the instructions ever made it. The mentor is the one who's already done it. They've nailed that. They're not there to prepare you. They're not there to wipe up your boo-boos and stop you from crying. They're not there to get you to, I think I can. When you get to the mentor, you better know you can. And a good mentor is going to tell you straight up front how much it's going to cost you. How much it's going to cost you in the natural, in the spirit, how much time it's going to cost you, how much resources it's going to cost you, how much money it's going to cost you. They're going to tell you, they don't wait till the end or somewhere in between. The contract is quite sure. I'm going to tell you, and they know how much it costs because they've already paid for it. Why would I give you for free what I had to pay for? It's going to cost you some blood, sweat, and tears. So why would I try to alleviate you of blood, sweat, and tears? That's a mentor. And a lot of times we're asking spiritual parents to be mentors or mentors to be spiritual parents. They're not always the same. Sometimes they are. And then some spiritual parents, you need to realize your season of parenting is over because eventually the children need to grow up. See? When you don't have no more babies to raise. When your house is empty and your nest is empty. You've got some experience. You've been successful at some things. Don't you think now you can mentor other parents? Don't miss your season. Listen at God. Don't miss your season. That when it's time for you, High Spring, to leave parenting and go into mentoring, you're still trying to parent. When it's an empty nest and you've been successful, you've raised them, you've taught them, you've equipped them, you've trained them, you've matured them, and they've gone on. You can't have no more babies. You're too old for that. It's time for you to be the mentor. There's a difference. There's a difference. And what has happened, especially in the church, we don't know the difference. And we've crossbreed some things. The grace is not on some of us to be spiritual parents anymore, but we're still trying to do it. Wow. Well, this was a good one tonight. I don't know how long I'm going to stay in it. Remember, a mentor has to be accessible. Absolutely. A mentor Has to be accessible. You can't have anybody talk, but they're mentoring you and you can't talk to them. You can't reach them. You can't call them. A mentor has to be authentic, objective, continually learning, and have your values. Mentees need mentors. Mentors have no need of mentees. Okay, how can you lead me and I can't see you? How are we going to do that? And so, a mentor, an experienced, successful, and trusted advisor. Mentees, you need mentors. Your best mentors will always be pupils. They will always be learning. They stay in the classroom. They realize no matter how much they have learned and experienced, it's something else to learn and something else to experience. They will always be followers. For they realize that following is just as important as leading. How can I teach you how to follow when I don't want to follow myself? And they can't mentor you in something they know absolutely nothing about. If your pastor, I'm just going to use me. If your pastor can't even thread a needle, much less put on a button, how is your pastor going to be your mentor to open a sewing room? We need to stop with the shenanigans in the church. Can't nobody mentor me who ain't the man or the woman of God. Okay. Because they are your mentor doesn't mean that they have to be spiritually connected to you. Remember, they're not maturing you. They're not growing you up. They're not concerned about you. They see potential in you. And they want to increase themselves. Maybe your witness will cause them. Your humility and your willingness to submit yourself even to an ungodly person. Oh, this is going to mess some of y'all Christians up right there. To an ungodly person. Maybe that will make them consider the God you serve. Because you need their experience. You need to know how they succeeded. You need their trusted advice. You got God. No, y'all, Yahweh's, well, you could say that's my church. I was trying not to answer that, but Elder Portia, Yahweh's Pride elder is me. That's my personal. That's the church's right there, Yahweh's. So Yahweh's Pride. Did you hear me, elder? Excuse me, overseer. All right, if it's any questions, this is how I'm going to end this one. Put it in the comment box and I'll try my best to answer it tonight. Or go to the Situation Rooms or Simply Sheldon's Facebook page and put it on the page and we'll answer it. It's an email, I believe, on Simply Sheldon. Is an email there. You can literally send it to the email and the marketing director or myself will get it, and I'm going to answer questions next week. I saw some people on here I saw one. They might have been numerous of them, I'm not sure, who said they've never been mentored and they don't have a mentor. I can advise you in that. And I will give you sound advice, because that might not be me. And I want to go back to this thought. You don't want anybody mentoring you where you are ashamed to mention their name and you can't mention their name. Their name is like a key. It might be the only key that fits that lock. Integrity matters. A good name is better to be had than riches and gold. And so make sure that the person you're considering to mentor you, everybody's not going to like them, but do they respect them? How can I get mentored if people fear you or are ashamed of you? Well, you know what? Then you hadn't been looking at real mentors. You hadn't been looking at real mentors. Spring, I need you to go to Simply Sheldon's Facebook page and send me an email and we'll talk about it. Or inbox me on my personal page. I'm fine with it. And definitely, the Situation Room is here to help, especially women. We've had some men on tonight, and I'm fine with that. I open up the room because people need this kind of platform. They need this. So we're here to get you to the next place. We're not here to baby you or, to convince you that you are worthy. That's not why we're here. We can do that. But this room, this session on Wednesdays between 9 and 9:30 is for those who are on the move. And we come against everything that is a threat to the wholeness and the wellness of women. If it is a threat, we're going to discuss it. Annie Williams said you cannot really trust nobody to be a mentor. If you can't trust them, if they've not proven to be trustworthy, then no, they don't need to mentor you. But there are some trustworthy people out there. You just need to know what it is you want from them. I've had people to ask me, would you mentor me? And then I asked them, in what? And they were at a loss. Because the church has taught us, you need a mentor. Okay, what does that mean? What are they going to do? Why do I need one? And so when I ask the question, for what? They're at a loss. Do you need a mentor for business? Do you need a mentor for womanhood? Do you need a mentor for parenting? Do you need a spiritual mentor? What is it you want me to mentor you in? Because mentoring means I'm experienced in it, I'm successful at it, and I am trustworthy to advise you in it. That's what mentoring is. Mentoring is not parenting. And what capacity do you want me to mentor you? I have mentors that I mentor in business matters. I have mentors I mentor in my profession, tailoring. I have mentees, that I mentor spiritually. I have mentees that I am mentoring to be successful wives and mothers. What is it you see in me that I've proven trustworthy and am successful at to impart into you? Because mentorship is an impartation. It is seeing and downloading yourself into someone else. What will be the remembrance of you when there is no more remembrance of you? That's something I teach the young ladies. I have a finishing school, and one of the first things I taught them, you have to leave a legacy. You must leave a legacy. You are a unique, incredible, diverse, beautiful creation. It would be a tragedy that when you leave this earth, nothing is left here to remind us of who you are. Write a book. Start a fund. Start a nonprofit. Download yourself into other people. You owe it to your Creator to not be forgotten when you leave here. Hi, Angel. I miss you too, baby girl. You owe it to the Creator who took the time to uniquely and intricately weave you together in your mother's womb. A fingerprint that cannot be duplicated ever again. You owe it to Him that when you leave here, you will never be forgotten. So what will be the remembrance of you when there is no more remembrance of you? That's a question. And mentoring is one way that you will be remembered. It's an investment. You're investing yourself, your experience, your success, your know-how into someone else. That's what mentorship is. And you just can't do it for and to anybody. Amen. All right. Well, thank you all for coming on tonight. And remember, go to Simply Sheldon, to the Facebook page or to the website. I have a website, www.simplysheldon.com. You can send your questions to the email there, or you can go to the page, to the Facebook page, Simply Sheldon, and leave your questions there. And next week, we're going to end it by answering questions. So make sure you send some up. Remember, what will be the remembrance of you when there is no more remembrance of you? Write that book. Start that business. Start that nonprofit. Download yourself. Go to your grave without a tap of anointing. I have vowed I will be buried empty. Amen. Love you all and see you next week. Bye-bye.